So after everything that happened with the 200 series, these two gentlemen here, Henko and Gerard from Rivonia Toyota, were the two responsible in getting it back on the road. They did an exquisite job, and the 200 was back to new condition. With everything relatively standard, it gave me an opportunity to rebuild the 200 series. It started off with getting my Tackler Signature Range seat covers refitted at Tackler, and then a visit to Frontrunner. I had been using the old Frontrunner roof rack and accessories since 2017, and it had certainly held up to the tough African conditions. But Frontrunner kindly offered to replace all my accessories with the new ones. The great thing about the Frontrunner kit, and something I absolutely love for overlanding, is it's modular to shift and shuffle accessories as well as swap them out. It's really stood up to the conditions over the past 6 years, and I know that I'll get many happy miles, and thank you to Frontrunner and their team. I'd be using the 200 series with this setup and no dual battery system for the next 6 months or so. I wanted to take my time and figure out how to do it right this time. I made many mistakes in the first build of the 200 series that I wanted to rectify, and giving it a proper test in the Mukuya Game Reserve in January 2023 was just what it needed. We really gave the 200 series a good go on this trip, but during this trip I heard something sinister coming from the front end. You hear that creaking sound coming from the front end of the vehicle? Well, it's more prominent in this video, but it's definitely something that has to be sorted before the next big adventure. We came to the conclusion that it was the upper control arms. So after this trip, it was time for a visit to 4x4 Mega World. In the overlanding game, you tend to stick to brands you trust, and Old Man Emu is one of those.
Right, so I've had the BP51s now for around, like I said, I think it's 6 years. So one of the vital aspects about your suspension is the upper control arms as well. And the standard Toyota upper control arms are good, but they don't compensate for the lift that you get with the Old Man Emu suspension. So I didn't know this. Old Man Emu bring in upper control arms, which is pretty amazing. So I'm having some fitted to the 200. They aren't adjustable, but they do compensate for the 2-inch lift that you'll get with the BP51s. This is quite lacquer because now it's Old Man Emu working with Old Man Emu, all a collective set. And I'll see how they do, but I'm sure they're going to be amazing. But yeah, if you didn't know, Old Man Emu does bring in upper control arms. I think for most of the models, Hiluxes, 200s. So just ask Mega World. Anyways, I'm here at head office getting it fitted, and yeah, happy days.
A huge thank you to 4x4 Megaworld for the incredible control arms. I'm sure out there in the bush they'll really be put up to the test. And from my past experiences with Old Man Emu, they'll definitely handle it. In this build, I wanted to try and make use of most of the dead space in the 200 series. Even though it's a big vehicle, you're always limited with space in the back of an SUV. And I did some research and found this incredible product from a company called Gone Wild Outdoor. This amazing product is an interior roof rack. It bolts onto the standard grab handles in the back of the 200. Those mounting points are incredibly strong, so can take quite a bit of weight. This would be used for items such as solar panels, blankets, jackets, tire repair kits, and so on. I even decided to mount the fire extinguisher and my LED Lenser X21R to this as well. With another amazing product fitted, it was time for the big day. I had drowned the 200 series on this day exactly a year ago, and it's been a tough year, but on a freezing cold morning on the way down to KwaZulu-Natal, with the peaks of the Drakensberg covered in snow and the sun rising, I was on my way to my favorite fitment center.
Repurposing.
That's right, I was at Safari Co 4x4, where the maestro Craig and his team were immediately working on the big 200. After working with Safari Co over the past 3 years, I've come to trust Craig's guidance and fitment. He really takes his time with the vehicles and listens to the customer on exactly what their needs are. Now let's get to the electrical system. I've installed 4 different systems in the 200 in the past and wasn't happy with either of them for one reason or another. So I decided to stick with what I know nowadays and what I've got in the 100 series, and that's the Redarc Manager 30. I would also be installing a new Runva winch. This winch is from a company called Winch In. They do all your Runva accessories as well as your MCC bumpers. I was happy with the previous Runva winch, which I'll now transfer to the 100 series, and this is the £13,500. I'd be swapping out the steel cable for Wild Dog 4x4 synthetic rope later in the episode. We were going relatively big on this build, so for the first time ever, I mounted some exterior lights to use around camp. We mounted 2 steady C4s, one to the Gobi X rear bumper, one to the Frontrunner roof rack, and then one of Frontrunner's grab handle lights. These look great.
So we're putting the backboard in for the Redarc system, and then this here is going to be our panels with all your plugs. A little bit of space to get the plugs in and out, and we're going to put that Mamba lacquer monitor over here and then sink everything else in there. Okay, so we've got the Lumino products which we're going to be using. It just has a couple of surrounds, Andersons, and for your hellers, USB, cigarette. A wonderful product. They've got a range of different fittings that works pretty well for the system.
And I see you also got the whole Red E range there as well.
Yeah, so we've been fortunate to take them on board. We've got all the headlights, a lot of the power bank solutions. We've also got the power stations, which are so popular, they come in and out. That's a home solution and a going out solution.
Safarico is your one-stop overlanding shop. What I really enjoy about this shop is they have a variety of different products to suit your budget. Every time I come here, I see the stores expanded, and they have some really great new products on show here. It's always a privilege to drive down here and spend time with Craig and his team. I learn a lot from him. And I know that the 200's electrical system will finally be sorted. Craig's work is just on another level. Lithium is definitely the way to go, but the prices of lithium batteries at the moment are very steep. So I decided to take one of the Enertech batteries out of the 100 series and put it in the back of the 200. All your Redarc products are available from 4x4 Megaworld. It took a day to map everything out, but I knew on the second day of fitment, Craig was going to put the hammer down, and this insane build was coming together very quickly. We wouldn't only be putting the Manager 30 charger in the 200, we'd also be installing the Red Vision Total Vehicle Management System. This would allow me to manage everything within the vehicle. Turning on lights, managing water levels and fridge temperatures, it really is the bee's knees. We would also be installing a new Gobi X fridge slide with a table. I've used Gobi X's products for the past 4 years and I'm super happy with them. I know what a lot of you are thinking, that the Redarc products are expensive, and they are. But the fact is, I've spent so much on electrical systems in the 200 in the past that I could have bought 2 Manager 30s already. Sometimes it's just worth saving up and doing it properly from the beginning. Thank you to Craig and the team for the exquisite fitment. I now have the confidence back. And there's only one last thing to get ready for a Botswana trip in the next week. Fitting products I've used over the past 4 years and that I have confidence in. It's not as simple as sponsorship. What credibility do I have if I fit inferior products to my vehicle? So for the winch rope, I've gone with Redarc from Wild Dog 4x4's synthetic winch line. This thing is insane and has saved me and other people countless times. Even if you don't think you need a winch, trust me, you do. It may not be to help you out of a situation, but others as well. So with the winch ready, it was time to head out to Botswana. You'll be able to see how the kit performs out here on the next trip. And a massive thank you to all the companies involved who helped me get the vehicle back on the road. I have the confidence, but let's see how everything works out there in paradise.
It's all my fault.
If we had arrived here earlier, we wouldn't have arrived to that scene right there.